Hello. So, in the FICSMAS advent calendar, the last thing that you can create from the factory is the FICSMAS Wonder Star. And the way I've done the advent calendar is by creating massive factories that produce lots and lots of each item. As it got a bit more difficult, I started to think about layering the factories rather than having it in a straight line. And so as I layered the factories, I realised, I thought to ask the question, can you build Wonder Stars in one blueprint? And the answer is yes. It's not very many. This whole factory produces 0.8 Wonder Stars per minute, which is a very small amount, but it's everything all in one. So you could just have this saved, create the blueprint over and over again. You'd need a lot of items for it, and yeah, so it's just avoids having to create all those massive factories. So just to show, I've got 30 gifts coming out here from these two gift trees that give 15 each, and that produces the 30 tree branches. That goes up to the top into these two assemblers here. I've got 45 gifts coming out here, and that is fed into these 9 smelters. So these first 5 are producing 24 red ornaments. These are producing 36 blue ornaments, and that's how much you need for later. So even though the output of these is slightly more, you just need 5 gifts for 10 blue ornaments, whereas these ones it's 5 gifts for 5 red ornaments. You do have to use slightly more blue ones later. When you come up here, you need to feed in a copper ore line here, an iron ore one there. So this copper is going to produce, the smelter is going to produce 24 copper ingots a minute, and that comes out here, and that is then fed into these foundries, and that will produce for me 12 copper ornaments, and that goes to the next level. Same idea here, but it's just iron. And you've got your iron smelters, which need just a little bit more iron, so you need 36 iron ore to 24 copper ore, so you can choose how best you want to do that. On the next level, so the copper and the iron combine to make the ornament bundles, and that's what this is here. And you've got 12 ornament bundles a minute. That then is fed into here, because you just need 6 each for the FICSMAS wreaths, and that joins up with the tree branches that I've got down below. And then that goes into the final assembler there. But what I also need are candy canes. So I have got trees here that will produce for me 15 gifts a minute, but really I just need 12. You can't underclock from those, so that's how it's got to be. And that these constructors are going to produce for me 16 candy cane, and that's what comes here. I couldn't have these trees on the same level because they go out of the blueprint, and I've tried to do all of this without clipping. So there might be like a little bit from like a power pole here, I think up here for example, the assembler there kind of pokes through just a little bit, just about see it there. But generally speaking, this is all without any clipping. One thing I did forget to do is put a base on the bottom, so you will have to produce a floor. You could just have another blueprint for that, but yeah, that would just make it a bit easier. This is all with Mark 6 belts, and the only reason I did Mark 6 belts is just because that's just clipping a bit there, isn't it? The only reason I did Mark 6 belts is just because I've had plenty of it. That's a bit better. You could probably put that back a bit if you want, but yeah, that's just to show that that can be done without clipping. You will see some of the smoke from the foundry. I don't think you see the smoke from the smelter, but yeah, certainly the foundry it comes out. So I put one of these up over here, and this thing here is producing for me the Wonder Star. And there we go. and I've just got a chest storage container here just to house everything. But yeah, you could do something different, have a bunch of dimensional depot uploaders. Although if you have more than one, you would need to have a lot of these. I mean, if each can do 240 a minute, 240 divided by 0.8, you would need to have 300 of these blueprints just to max out a dimensional depot uploader. So yeah, so you can just see I've got everything running here. You do have to leave it for a little bit first because it's a manifold system, so you can see the GIFs are backing up here but they're not here. So after leaving this for about 5 or so minutes, I think these smelters here that are for the red ornaments were getting fairly full. I was producing lots of red ornaments for these foundries. You can see there's plenty in each. It was the blue ornaments that was the issue, so I chucked in some gifts just to help it along, so now the blue ornaments are catching up. So yeah, so here's my iron and copper. I just fed them in. I just took them off this long line here just to kind of show it all working, and then you would connect this up to the blueprint before and the one after, and you would just connect the power up. So there we are. I've got 4. I know it's not a huge number, but that's the beauty of the blueprint. All of that can be one thing, and if you were to play the advent calendar from start, well, right at the end, and you had everything unlocked, you could just put this down, put a whole bunch of them in a row, and that would produce for you the final thing that you need. Although it is kind of fun creating all of these factories as well. But yeah, thought I'd just show that it is possible to have all in one factory. One blueprint. I mean, there will be easier ways to have more of it in one blueprint. Maybe to have one Wonder Star a minute rather than 0.8. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. I shall see you in another video.